there we go. Ready? Hello and welcome to Off Chain. My name is Jimmy Song. Today is November 30th, 2017, and we have a lot of stories for you. Tone, you want to say hi? Yeah, so lots of stories today. Let's start with this one. Apparently, Katy Perry is meeting with Warren Buffett, and she's asking about cryptocurrency. Um, Seems like we're starting to cross over into pop culture, Tone. What do you think? Uh-huh. Mm. Mm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is interesting because Warren Buffett's much better on like insurance products and banks. Oh, there's no audio from you? Okay. All right, let's figure this out. All right, so I thought I thought audio input capture. Oh, yeah, that's not coming through. That's weird. Let me see if I can figure this out. Multi-output. All right, that built-in output, built-in microphone. Uh, this is so annoying. There it is, multi-output
We
device. I bet you that
we have
works
that
now.
figured out. All right, hey guys, how about now? How's the sound now?
Okay, so you're on like a 5 second delay, so we're gonna have to wait until, you know,
Yeah, a little
okay.
more than 5 seconds.
Yeah, something like that.
All right, it should be good now.
Okay, all right. So
Come
people are
on.
saying they can hear
Tom was talking for so long. Yeah.
you?
I always talk. Yeah, it works now. It works now. Okay, so
Okay.
here's what I say. So, oh man, it's impossible to repeat it the way I said it. I explained how this is like comedy gold. Like of all the people Katy Perry could have went to talk to about this, like she decided to pick Warren Buffett, the man who like was afraid of the internet pretty much when it came out. Like this is the guy she should be talking to if she's interested in investing in railroad stocks or airlines or maybe the telephone
Banks or
company.
banks or insurance companies. That's his
Yeah,
specialty.
banks, insurance, maybe the telephone companies of 1945. This is like, come on, like she has to be smarter than this, right? Well, go find someone at Google or go find Elon Musk or somebody, right?
Mm,
Somebody from the FANG, somebody at Facebook,
mm.
go talk to the Square people. They seem to understand Bitcoin. This is probably like a photo op. Like I'm sure, like somebody just wanted them to get together to show that I don't know either he wanted to be hip or she wanted to be seen as like with someone like
Serious
Buffett,
or an
right?
investor.
But 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 for actual information on Bitcoin, this is like completely ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's just funny. I mean, it makes no sense at all. And she's not going to get any normal advice from this. But hey, here's the good news though. At least she didn't sit down with Vitalik, and she's not all about Ethereum, right? So it's
I don't know. It says cryptocurrency. Who knows? All right. Next story. Bitcoin ought to be outlawed. Nobel Prize winner Stiglitz says. To quote directly. So it seems to me it ought to be outlawed. It doesn't serve any socially useful function. Your thoughts on this Nobel Prize winning? Well, first of all, this bothers me to no end that they call it like the Nobel Prize in economics. It's not from Alfred Nobel. That's like it's like the fake Nobel Prize. It's like this random institution in Sweden that decided they wanted to call it the Nobel Prize, but it's not like an Alfred Nobel Prize, like, the Nobel Prize in physics or medicine or even like, all these other things. This is like a fake Nobel Prize. Anyway, fake Nobel Prize winner says,
Oh, it's the one with the Peace Prize, right? The
yeah,
same
yeah,
people. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, but it's not a real Nobel Prize. But anyway, this guy says Bitcoin should be banned. Should we be banning Bitcoin?
Well, that's the thing, right? There's multiple things that are going on there, right?
Mhm.
So again, they have to stop asking people that like did all this work like before the internet. Like it's completely like mind-boggling.
Mm.
God, I wish Milton Friedman was alive for this. But but see, the thing is, um, like he's borderline right, but where stupidity comes in is that you can't ban it. That's the problem. And because you can't ban it, you have to learn to live with it and accept it, right? That's the number one problem. Like I can also debate when he says that you can't use it for anything good. That's debatable. Now, can it also be used for most of the shit the government doesn't like when it comes to money? Absolutely. But this delusion on these people that the government can flip a switch and ban it, I mean, the easy way to debate it is, how did the banning of alcohol and drugs work out for you? I mean, this is what you're looking at, right? Like, but trying to ban Bitcoin is prohibition on alcohol, it is prohibition on drugs, and they both failed miserably, and it's going to fail miserably, and it's going to cost an unlimited amount of money trying to fight it until you give up. Like that's the problem. But yeah, I mean, I'm more than willing to like. I agree with him that Bitcoin does a lot of things government doesn't like, and maybe some of those laws on those things need to be loosened instead of tightening how you use Bitcoin.
Or maybe we should use it as sound money, a base layer of civilization. But anyway, let's move on because we do have a lot of stories today. Coinbase obtains partial victory over the IRS. I love how they're spinning this because they still have to give up a ton of like 14,000 customers who haven't done anything that's like suspicious. They did like a court order that said, give us all your customer records. And they basically said, okay, well, we'll give you all of these people, though you have no warrant that's like no good reason other than they own Bitcoins. But yeah, I love how they're spinning this 97% reduction in the number of customers, as if like the top 3% of their customers aren't important at all, right? Like it's kind of ridiculous how they're spinning it. But your thoughts on Coinbase's quote unquote victory over the IRS?
So this is another really funny story to me. So first of all, I fully expected this. I always tell people the first blog post I ever made was about IRS and Coinbase back in 2014. But in this particular case, right, so what they did was they did not report the people that only stored their Bitcoin with Coinbase. They only reported those that were actively trading it through Coinbase. Now, here's the funny part. The subpoena was for all of the people that were using Bitcoin between 2013 and 2015. So literally the bear market. So the funny thing is, like 80% of those people probably lost money at the value of the Bitcoin. So it's like such a waste of money and resources. What they should be asking for is the Bitcoins from 2015 up to recently, because that's where the gains were made. And the reason why is because while Coinbase was bragging about how many customers it has, I think only like 900 people actually filed that they even owned Bitcoin, and Coinbase is proud
Well,
of
you don't
having
have to
50,000
report that you
customers.
own Bitcoin. You just have to report capital gains when you sell it, right?
But well, that's the thing, right? The moment you own Bitcoin, capital gains starts 5 seconds later,
Is that
right?
right? I thought it was when you had a like a capital gains event or something like that.
It's when you have a capital gains event, but if you move the Bitcoin out of Coinbase, that's a capital gains event or loss, right?
Is
So
it?
the only
Because I thought
it is.
it's when you convert it to cash or something like that.
But Coinbase doesn't know because you can hold Bitcoin locally on your Trezor. that if you buy Bitcoin from Coinbase, the moment you remove it from Coinbase, it becomes a capital gains taxable event. Now, if you remove it within, instantly, there isn't really any capital gains. But if you remove it like a week later from Coinbase into your Trezor, that counts as selling the Bitcoin because
I'm
Coinbase
not so sure about that because
Yeah,
I
it is.
think you have to actually sell the bitcoins in order to make it a cap. Because like if you buy like a house, you don't get taxed until you actually sell it or something like that.
That's true, but people know when you sell it, right? When you move the Bitcoin on a Coinbase and Coinbase isn't the one liquidating you, they don't know if you sold it for cash or not. So from their end, on their books, they're reporting it as you exiting the position like a broker.
Well,
Like,
if
like
that's the case, then I would be really curious to find out if that's how they do it on their books, because
I'm,
that would
I'm,
be
I'm, I'm,
really, really terrible for their
I'm pretty
customers.
certain that that's how it's done.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. But the beauty of it is like the people that are going to be subpoenaed for this, whose records are going to be turned over. I don't think they have much to worry about because that was the bear market.
Yeah, I guess so.
Anytime you bought it, you were losing money. So,
Well, unless you were Bear Whale or something like that, who
but
famously
but
spent.
how could you be a bear through Coin? But how could you be a bear on Coinbase, right? It's not like leverage. There wasn't even any shorting
No,
back then.
I'm talking about the Bear Whale, the guy
Oh,
that sold like 10,000 bitcoins when it was like $300.
right. Well, he should be reporting because he lost a lot of money on that sale, right? He would
No,
have
no,
bought them
he
early.
made a lot of money. He bought those in like 2011. Anyway, all right, let's move on. Let's talk about arbitrage Bitcoin futures edition. And this guy talks about how Bitcoin futures are going to affect Bitcoin price. His argument is that whenever the futures are priced higher than Bitcoin, there will be very easy arbitrage opportunities. But whenever it's priced lower, it's going to be a lot harder. So the main argument here is that the futures will actually cause Bitcoin to go up. Your thoughts, Tone, on this argument?
I don't think so. I think once the CME, we're talking about the Nasdaq futures. I'm talking about the
Yeah, this is a
CME
CME
futures here,
one.
right? Yeah, I
The
know.
NASDAQ is the next
Right.
story.
Okay. So I think there'll be an efficient market fairly soon. I
Mm,
don't expect the futures to be trading at a discount.
mm,
I expect the futures to be trading at a bit of a premium.
mm,
Uh, but I think an efficient market will be found fairly quickly
mm,
because there'll be a lot of liquidity.
mm,
I mean, if guys like me can trade these things through, I mean, I won't be able to trade in my retirement account,
mm.
but any futures trader can trade these things. There'll be lots of liquidity. Uh, I'm not really expecting that much of an arbitrage opportunity because here's the thing: people that are going to be trading these futures, like myself, we're not going to be arbitraging this because holding Bitcoin on an exchange is risky.
Mm,
And even a lot of hedge funds, if they're smart, they should be holding onto the Bitcoin themselves. They shouldn't be holding it at like Bitfinex or whatever.
mm. Yeah, I guess so. Speaking of futures, NASDAQ plans to launch Bitcoin futures in the first half of 2018. I am paywalled. But yeah, it's a story from the Wall Street Journal. Your thoughts on NASDAQ sort of entering the futures market along with CME?
No, not really. I mean, one of them is going to be more liquid than the other.
Mm,
It's I mean, I like the CME futures. Like, I don't trade any of the futures but the CME futures. I
mm,
didn't even know NASDAQ had futures.
mm,
I'm used to CME futures, ICE futures. I didn't even know NASDAQ had a futures market for anything. Like, this is news to me. So maybe Nasdaq is getting into the futures market with Bitcoin. It's just weird.
mm,
Like, I honestly, I don't. I'm not familiar with Nasdaq and their futures, track record.
mm,
So I wouldn't touch the Nasdaq futures. I'd stick with the CME. CME knows what they're doing.
mm. Yeah, there are rumors that this may eventually lead to an ETF, which everyone's been waiting for like 4 years. All right, here is a really interesting story, and it's from Pastebin. This is on the front page of our Bitcoin right now and being tweeted by a lot of people. But this guy is anonymous, but makes a bunch of claims about sort of like treasure hunting on the Bitcoin blockchain. He found a bunch of wallet addresses that correspond that have private keys that correspond to block hashes, transaction hashes, um, like different addresses and stuff like that. And some of them apparently are getting into like some of them actually have transactions on them, and he actually wrote a bot that that looks for these kinds of known private keys, and he actually had like 9.5 Bitcoin transferred into one of them, but he was too slow on that one. There's another bot apparently running. Then there was some user named Fitware who was using the blockchain.info wallet apparently, and Fitware received 9 Bitcoins into one of these addresses where the secret is known. He took that and he used his bot to get it, and then he gave it back. He's a white hat hacker, and there's a whole story around this, but there's a whole bunch of addresses that he claims are. I haven't verified this, but I think I'm gonna take some time maybe later to actually go and this very easily verifiable. It's a SHA-256 of like certain strings. But basically, what this guy is not complaining, claiming is that there may be a wallet that has some vulnerability where they're using deterministic addresses in this really bad way, where the secret is like the address or something like that, and all you have to do is SHA-256 it to get the private key, which is horrible. Your thoughts, Tone? Is blockchain.info responsible? What's going on? I mean, do you think?
Well, I look, everyone would love to know what wallet this is.
Uh-huh. I mean, it
And
could be malware too, but yeah, we don't know.
I have to say that of the big wallets,
Hmm.
the one that's most likely that's screwed up is going to be blockchain.info, because they've screwed up so many times. Like, I think
I
God, I
mean,
stopped using
yeah, I mean the
my
50 BTC guy, right? Like that was a blockchain.info wallet.
right, that wasn't even it. I mean, I remember all of their problems in 2014 when I stopped using that wallet. It almost cost me a full Bitcoin.
Mm.
Like, the wallet told me that it didn't send, so I sent it again, and then the next day it told me, oh, it was sent. My bad.
Mm.
And I'm like, what the hell? So now I sent out 2 Bitcoins to a guy that barely knew what the hell he was doing.
Mm.
Thank God I eventually got it back, but it took like 2 weeks.
Mm.
Uh, but anyway, so I got very frustrated with that wallet, and they had other vulnerabilities. They used to email you your private key. Like, it was just like so many dumb moves that they've done. But this is why you shouldn't keep all of your Bitcoins in the same wallet. You want to spread them around. It's look, people think this is all fun and games, but securing your Bitcoin is, like I always said, it's like securing nuclear energy. It's as difficult as securing your Bitcoin. So I hope we find out what wallet it is, and I hope they fix all of this, and hopefully everyone.
It might just be malware, and they figured out some vulnerability into blockchain.info and managed to import a private key or something like that. I mean, it's all speculation at this point, and nobody really knows. But like the facts of the case, which are, like there's a bunch of keys private keys that you can know by just like examining the blockchain in a particular way. That seems very bad, and I don't know if it's a wallet developer that figured out something like that doesn't know what they're doing with cryptography, but something is really off here, and we really need to dig into this. All right. Anyway, here's the next story. This is from Young Hodl. He made the Wu Ver clan poster yesterday, and we were both talking about how it made everybody look really cool, and that maybe wasn't the intention. So he made a new one with a clown car.
I know, I saw that.
Thought it was hilarious. Your thoughts on this hilarious thing here?
I thought it was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I hit the like button. I try not to be too trollish, so I didn't retweet it.
It does look hilarious.
He picked a great picture of John McAfee, I'll tell you that much. And he got the eye patch. Yeah,
Rick
it's better this
Volfinia.
time. Would have been a little better with some more time could have been made to make the Photoshop and
Hmm.
make it cleaner. But the idea is perfect.
Yeah, yeah, I like that too. All right, so here is another hilarious thing. This is the Virgin altcoiner and Chad Bitcoiner. I just thought
I
this was
haven't seen this. What is this?
okay. All right, so it's sort of comparing like the altcoiner versus Bitcoiner. So I'll just briefly read it. Virgin altcoiner thinks people actually care about using these coins for daily transactions. Risks another Mt. Gox by keeping his money on exchanges. Plus 1.5%. Bought in ATL and sunk to new lows. Entitled expects all of his altcoins to rise like Ethereum. Bcash is the real Bitcoin, barely up in USD and massively down in Satoshis. Confuses pump and dumps for legitimate altcoin growth. Invests in obscure coins. Gets mad when no one knows about them. All right, Chad Bitcoiner wakes up to new price heights every day. Will be the first real estate tycoon on Mars. Knows Bitcoin will only become rarer over time. Doesn't know how the coins work and doesn't really care. Doesn't care about transactions. Just wants more money. His wallet keys are guarded by Cerberus and the lost souls of the damned 10,000 feet below the surface of the earth. Bought in all-time high plus 7,567%. I was like, this is absolutely correct. I know both of these people, like people that don't know anything about the technology but just hold Bitcoin, and the guy that's like researching every altcoin and trying to make money off of those and losing money basically.
Yeah, man, like all of these altcoin traders, they remind me of the like I always compare it to like when I was in college in the late 90s. Like our the guys in my dorms, they didn't have much money and they're like trading penny stocks. That's what it feels like to me. It's like I remember this like when I was like 19, like like 17 to 19.
Mm,
It was like the early days of the .com,
mm,
and everyone like you get your E-Trade account and off you go.
mm.
Uh, and those that didn't have much money are like, oh, I'm a trader. I have like $500 in an account and I'm trading penny stocks. This is what it's like. It's insane.
Yeah, it does feel like that, doesn't it? All right, Tone, you wanna show us some of your stuff on
All right,
price?
let's
Because we
do
certainly
it.
have a lot to talk about there.
Oh yeah, people have been complaining. People are complaining. I don't know what I'm talking about when it comes to taxes. Let's just say I'm the one that's not going to get audited. So we'll see who's actually talking. Let's see who's right at the end.
Yeah, yeah.
That's all I can.
Yeah, I don't know if you're correct there on the Coinbase thing, but we'll find out.
I'm telling you, trust me. I've discussed this many times. Look into that, right?
All right.
Like because just think about it, right? The moment you withdraw from Coinbase, they don't know what you did with it.
Mm.
That's it.
All right. All right.
It's
Well,
just it's as common sense as it gets for me anyway. Um, and I don't understand why people are complaining that Coinbase is supposed to report every one of their customers to the IRS.
mm,
Every one of their U.S. customers, Coinbase, my broker where I trade stocks, reports every single one of my transactions to the IRS. I also need to report on my taxes. And then if that doesn't match what the IRS got from the broker, I get a letter in the mail saying, nope, you're incorrect. Well, you owe us this much. And then I can go and argue. But I don't understand why people are complaining that the IRS is cooperating. Sorry, the Coinbase is cooperating with the IRS. It's their job to cooperate with the
yeah. Well, I mean,
IRS.
they're kind of required to by the government.
Right. Every single transaction that you make with Coinbase is supposed to go to the IRS. That's why I beg people not to use Coinbase since 2014, and why Brian Armstrong has me, blocked on Twitter.
All right. Let's take a look at the price. How's it looking?
All right. Not good, actually. Oh, let me not panic, everyone. It's looking okay. It's looking okay. It's looking great. All right. So look, here's the weekly chart. People like to make fun of my random number generator, but it's not a joke, right? Like, look, here's the last time we had a 9, and here's we have a 9. And this 9 is even more troublesome than the 9 back in June, because this one so far is giving you a weekly reversal candle. This is known as a shooting star reversal candle, and it's very, very dangerous. Now, Bitcoin has an upwards bias, so even if we get a pullback, it shouldn't be that bad. But let's see how the week ends. But right, if this was Sunday, I wouldn't be looking for bullish trades next week, the week after. I would be looking for bearish trades. Now, I'm assuming I will be making videos the rest of the week. But in case I'm not, in case I'm having a little too much fun in Colombia, as of this afternoon, here's the play, the traditional play. Forget the indicator. The traditional play based on weekly candles. If the candle closes like this, then next week, the moment you start trading below the low, it's a short play, okay? So the way reversal candles work, once you start making a new low on the following candle, it becomes a short. What does this 9 telling me? Well, since the monthly is also on a 9, this is troubling, okay? Now, keep in mind...
and the month closes tomorrow, right?
And the month closes tomorrow, right? Now, the monthly is not a reversal candle, so that's a bit of a plus. But in any case, well, let's see how the weekends. Honestly, I'm starting to look for a more serious correction here. But let's see how this goes. So the weekly still have half a week to go. Not looking good right now, but let's see how it all ends. Here's the daily. Same thing. The daily has a reversal candle. Now, I would have loved this candle to come 4 days later so that there is a 9 on the daily. But a reversal candle is a reversal candle. So, I mean, nothing's perfect. This does look like a blow off top. Look, you didn't have 3 days to think about exiting. You literally had, half a day, which is how these things top. People that watch me long enough have learned. So, the next candle is not yet below this candle. So based on traditional trading, there's no call for a short on a daily yet. So we wait. If the numbers flip or we start trading tomorrow lower than today's low, it becomes a shorting opportunity on the daily. The 4-hour is the most troubling of them all because the 4-hour actually looks like a classic bubble chart. Not what I meant to draw. This goes here, and this goes into the rule of no double bottoms, right? So this is what you have. You have a blow off top on a reversal candle on a 9, which is very bad based on a 4-hour time frame. We had the big drop, we pulled back, and if I just go to Google, for some reason that part isn't going away, which is a bit unfortunate.
What is going away?
This thing. Oh, you don't see it, I see it. Okay, never mind. So if I go, equity or financial bubbles, right? So I'm trying to Google it properly this time.
Oh, google.com.co. Nice.
Oh yeah, I'm in Colombia.
And it's all in Spanish. That's awesome.
This is beautiful. It's exactly what I need. Is this video? No, that's video. It actually says videos. Those are pictures. Actually, I wanted to go to pictures, images. Images. Perfect. Right. So if you look at the classic bubble chart, you have this right here, this return to range. And that's exactly what our 4-hour looks like right now. You have this monster move up, ends on a reversal candle, ends on a 9, comes back and makes a lower high. This is troubling. So now the real trouble sets in once you go below the bull, what they call the bull trap, and then the bottom drops out. So on a 4-hour chart, once you go below this line, I drew it at 95.30, but round numbers are round numbers. So if I move it down to 9,500, it makes it, make a little more sense, right? So just use your ballpark, use like 9,500. Once we go below 9,500, there could be trouble, okay, on a 4-hour chart. So if we start falling on a 4-hour chart, where can the bottom be? Well, you have the moving averages, you have the numerical indicator, which is hopefully gets you on 9 and times you back up, or the, oops, didn't mean to close that. So I guess we're not going to the daily chart, but on the weekly chart, I mean, 7,600 is good support. 5,000 is better support, and 1,300 is beautiful support. Now it's going to be scary if we go all the way there, but you know, you got to start leaning bearish here. I mean, what else can you say? I mean, here is the hour chart, the 1-hour chart, also ended on a reversal candle. This is an automatic resistance line coming from the random number generator. I like that name. That's the resistance line that we couldn't cross, so that makes sense. We're on a 9 now. We should have a small bounce here, hopefully in the next couple of hours. But again, the hourly chart is starting to look ugly. I mean, hopefully this is a nice round number here. What do we got? It looks like about 9,400, but this 94, 9,500 area, like once we go below that, I mean, the drop can accelerate quickly. I would be a little nervous holding Bitcoin long right now. Just try to buy the dip, and I'll try to time the dip as best I can.
Good stuff. All right. Well, I'd like to thank everybody for joining us this morning, and Tone especially because he's, you know, like in a hotel lobby in Colombia. Anyway, any other final thoughts before I sign off?
No, that's it. I'm here for a Bitcoin conf. The conference starts, I believe, Monday. It's the conferences 4th and 5th. After that, right after the conference, I'm off to Toronto where there is a conference and I'm teaching my trading seminar. I believe it's sold out. There might be one seat left available. And so, you know, look up Liberty Life Trail for that. And after that, I'll be in Singapore. So I'll keep you guys posted on that. But Colombia should be fun. Can't wait to start walking around, getting into some trouble.
Of course. All right. Well, I'd like to thank all our viewers, and yeah, join us hopefully tomorrow. This song is done.